Let's start with the prompt. Which one completes the text? That's one of the more difficult prompts because you need to understand the text well enough to be able to predict what it might say next. So let's start. In her article, this scholar discusses this person, a collector of items intended to be discarded, including bus tickets, campaign pamphlets. He recognized that scholarly institutions considered his expansive collection to be worthless. Indeed, it wasn't until after a certain year that Oxford's library acquired the collection, having grasped the item's potential value to historians and other researchers. Hence, the example of Johnson serves to maybe highlight a situation where people or institutions initially don't realize the value of something. And that's just me answering in my own words. It doesn't necessarily need to match the answer choices, but it puts us in a position to be able to make a better selection. So let's look at A. Demonstrate the difficulties faced by historians in conducting research at the library without access to the ephemera. It wasn't really about the difficulty faced by the historians. B. Represent the challenge of incorporating examples of ephemera into collections of libraries and other institutions. Maybe it's challenging because the institutions don't initially understand the value. C. Lend support to arguments by historians and researchers who continue to assert that ephemera holds no value. Well, it would be supporting the idea that the ephemera actually has value because it turned out to have value in the text. And D. Illustrate the relatively low scholarly regard in which ephemera was once held and the later recognition of its possible utility. Well, that's going to be much better because that's exactly what happened in the text. Initially, it had low regard. In other words, people had low respect for it, and later it had much higher regard. So the answer here is D.